All right, we are live. My hair's a mess. Yahoo! Anyway, tonight I just got back home from Halifax. Went to see my kids. My oldest, Mimi, she had to have like some dental work done today. Well, yesterday, so I was there for that, and I got to spend time with Wes and Mimi, and we got to hang out and play board games, and just have fun, watch some TV, and just talk and just have fun. So anyway, so I went to Taz Records. While I was there, I didn't have much time or much money to spend at the time. Hey, B Movie Archives, you're the first one in here. And I grabbed a couple Laserdiscs. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you the Laserdiscs that I picked up today. I got a couple of those. We're going to talk about the Arrow announcements that were made today. We're also going to talk about the Severin announcement that came out as well. Both of those I've got some thoughts on. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Hey, Javed. Welcome back to the movie club. And you guys are the movie club. Anyway, it's been a long day. I got up early, got to spend some time with my kids. Got a 6.5-hour bus ride to get home here. And we'll do the Laserdisc first because there's only a couple of them. But I'm actually very excited. So I grabbed two, and they're both in the same genre. So they're both thrillers. I did want to get more thrillers, specifically in my Laserdisc collection. Thrillers and like action movies, stuff like that. Kind of tends to be what I normally watch on Laserdisc. And yeah, I do still watch Laserdisc. It always like bugs me when I go on and I like hear people talking about, oh, why should we collect VHS anymore? Why should we collect Laserdisc anymore? Though there's no reason to watch them. And yeah, that's a load of BS. Just so you know, it's good to collect different formats, and it's a great way to get stuff that may not be available, not be readily available as well. Now, the first one here is definitely readily available, but I definitely wanted the Laserdisc. I love the cover of this too. This is Dead Calm, with Sam Neill and Billy Zane and Nicole Kidman, right? It's Nicole Kidman. Did I get that right? Yeah, did I? I think so. And it's produced by George Miller, actually. And I don't think he directed it, though. I think it was directed by somebody else. Yeah, Philip Nice, who did The Hitchhiker. So, wow, so that's actually a pretty good one there. I definitely recommend. Like, just look how sexy these things look. Blu-ray packaging, sadly, unless you're buying from a company. Hey, Dekatana. Unless you're buying from an actual, like, company like a Scream Factory or an Arrow or a Severin or a Vincent, you're not going to get, like, vintage stuff. You're not going to get it. Hey, DVD Kiwi. Hey, welcome. G'day. yeah, I'm actually live tonight. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be talking about later on. Hey, Tommy. How about 600 Laserdiscs? That is so nice. Send those this way. Okay, so the next one I got, actually, I'm pretty sure, because I haven't seen this around anywhere, so you guys can let me know if it's still available, like on, I've only seen this. VHS packaging was amazing. That's one of the reasons I have it. That's like you get like Laserdisc or CED. They have great packaging with them. So this one was written by Dick Wolf. Yeah, the guy from Law & Order. It was a thriller. It was one that I really liked, and I haven't seen it since the new Laserdisc players. I don't think they saw new ones anywhere. Like it took me a long time, Tommy, to find them. And usually, I found them from a guy that used to work at a hospital. Hospitals used to use Laserdisc players way past the time that they were normally used, because they could put like kids shows and cartoon stuff, and it would like kind of play on a loop. So it made it really, really easy for that. There was actually something I was really tempted to get. I didn't pick it up, and I really regret it now. I should have picked it up. Was the Laserdisc sampler. English pack. Oh, that's so cool. I would love to have that. But so the second one I picked up, I'm actually really proud of this one. I don't think this one's readily available. Like on Laserdisc it is, but I think on DVD, not so much anymore. And that is Masquerade, with Rob Lowe, Meg Tilly, and Kim Cattrall. Doug Savant too is actually in this one. The guy who would go on to be, I guess, most famous for Melrose Place. Unfortunately, Dagtan, you can't find him here. But if you're in the U.S., like definitely look for a good you should be able to find them like in the or in a bigger area. I'm here in Canada. Laserdisc players are really rare to find. It took me years to find one, and only found one by accident. A guy was selling a player that he thought was a VHS player, and I went out to check it out, and it was like that. It was a Laserdisc player. It was from a hospital. So Masquerade. I'm not sure if you guys remember this one or not. It's actually a really, really good movie. I really like this. It's one of those kind of like twisty, turny thrillers. It's kind of in the tradition of movies like Alfred Hitchcock's Suspicion, that type of thing, where you really don't know. True, eBay is a good place to go for it, but it's expensive as hell, right? You don't know what everybody's like, who's on the up and up. It's really a good film. Does anybody remember Masquerade? So I'm not going to say anything else if somebody remembers Masquerade. Yeah, they are really heavy. That's the worst thing. So if you're better off, it's $300. Wow. If you can find one, a little bit. See, Andy, I can always count on Andy to kind of remember the stuff I like. So this one is actually, I looked online afterwards. It's selling on Amazon. Oh, Jab, perfect. CA for $50 for the DVD. So I'm like, no, I think this cost me less than $5, by the way, for both those. You have, yes, that's a good one now to have Daytona, because it's not an incredibly easily to find like DVD, and I'm not quite sure if it's easy to find in the VHS market or not, but I haven't seen it around, so I grabbed that one right away. It was the first one I saw. I went there to get Patrick Bergen's movie Robin Hood, but they didn't have it there anymore. I really like his version of Robin Hood, and I know, but it's one that I personally like. So we got a couple people here that do like have some Laserdiscs or collect or want to collect them. I love, I guess, show you guys, like they are in actually great quality. So I'll just take one out. I love taking out a Laserdisc because they're so fun. So this in its wrapper. This is Masquerade, both sides. I love the old, the CBS Fox logo that these have. I get nostalgic for those old things, you know? So, there's announcements made today. You want to talk about the announcements, guys? Announcements. Yeah, Rob Lowe, Jacqueline Bisset, and I think it started Andrew McCarthy. I think he was the one, like Rob Lowe's roommate, the one that actually has the affair with Jacqueline Bisset. Lucky guy. On the Google Doc list. Meg Tilly and Kim Trell also on that doc list. Wow. 50 to 80 US bucks each. It was insane the price that they were back then. And they're still like not cheap to get. I have a strong admiration and like for people that like were collecting these back in the day, because these were super expensive. That's how you could tell like somebody that was in the movies was like a really big collector, because they had a Laserdisc collection. That was a cinephile. Like that was like what Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel and guys like that did. They collected in those. Oh, nice. So Arrow and Severin both made announcements tonight. And I wanted to talk about those. They may have made them yesterday, but I'm here now, so we're going to talk about them now. So we'll do the Severin announcement first. See if I can find it here. So Severin just announced that this box set is coming out in April. The Hemisphere Horrors, their Blood Island collection was so popular that they're putting out this one here. It's going to have 5 films on it. We got the Curse of the Vampires, the Blood Drinkers, the Black Cat, the Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, and Brain of Blood. Brain of Blood is probably, hey Raymond, welcome to the movie club. Brain of Blood is probably the one I remember least. Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, I don't think I've ever seen a really good copy of that, so that's going to be really good to get. I'm pretty sure, is that the one with Christopher Lee? Hey Mark, welcome dude. I'm pretty sure Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism might have had Christopher Lee. in it there as well. So I'm actually really excited to, yeah, I really want this. I haven't seen the trailer yet, Andy, but I really do want this box set. It's a super exciting one. Now, Arrow made announcements. What did I think of the announcements that Arrow made? I'm going to be honest with you. It was kind of meh. Nothing really stood out. Did anybody here, did anybody get excited about anything with the recent Arrow announcement? Like the 6 they announced? They announced Mega Time Squad. The box set is going to be $59.99 American. But if you bought anything like during the Black Friday sale that came in late, there's you haven't used your 20% off coupon already. Definitely a good one. Bob Wilkes Creature. Grand Duel. Yeah, Grand Duel is actually the only one that really really does interest me a lot. I mean, there's stuff there that's okay. I mean, in the aftermath, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember it very well, but I think it was MCD, Move Cave Dave asked me. And all I could remember at the time, because I was on the bus coming home, is I think it was like, in the aftermath was like kind of a live action animation amalgamation. Like there's a short, like maybe a 45, 50-minute short, Angel's Egg or something like that. Oh, the films in the collection on their own? I'm not quite sure. But the collection itself is $59.99. In the aftermath, maybe, I don't know. Yakuza Law, it's something I pick up on a sale, not something I'd buy right out. Trapped Alive, I don't remember. There's so many movies with that name, I'd have to look into it and see which one it is. Mega Time Squad, okay, I guess. And I think there was 2 more, but honestly, Grand Duel was the only one that stood out. I don't know what everybody else thinks. If anybody else got anything else that they're excited about from that Arrow announcement, definitely let me know. But for me, the Severin announcement was bigger. It was a bigger deal. It was a box set. It's a limited edition. All of us that got those 20% off coupons because we bought on Black Friday and had to wait a bit. Great time to use your coupon, actually. Because, yeah, that's awesomeness with that set. So I did expect, how many Laserdiscs do I have? Not a lot, Dave Katana, to be totally honest with you. I wouldn't know for sure. I haven't counted them, but like nowhere near 600 or 100. Like if I'm lucky, I got like maybe 30 Laserdiscs, maybe altogether. And that's only because I recently went to Taz last year and picked up a few there. Because that's the only place I know that sells Laserdiscs. And I was at their smaller store. That Taz Records has a bigger store. They got 2 locations. But for this, I definitely only about like 25 or 30, at maximum, if that many. I'm very new when it comes to the Laserdisc collecting thing. I've had a Laserdisc player now for about a year. I had my first 4 Laserdiscs for around, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years, but no Laserdisc player to play them on. So I remember the first day I actually got a Laserdisc player. I went home, I plugged it in, I turned on Lawnmower Man because that's one of the ones that I had, and I sat back and I watched it, and it was a blast. I collect a lot of different formats. Yeah, I got VHS tapes. I have VHS Javit. I got VHS, Laserdisc, 8mm, as you guys have seen. I've got DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. Do I have any other formats? I'm trying to think. I think that's all the formats I got right now. I wish, dude. Was the Star Wars Laserdisc set, was that the one that was done before the editing, basically before they did stuff? How many VHS do I have? A few. I mean, I got more VHS. I got a few Disney VHS, but not enough horror VHS. I'm actually the thing is I can't buy any more VHS now because I'm going in 2 years, and the thoughts packing up, a heavy VHS is. So getting all that across, it's good. It's going to be hard. I got to really see what I'm going to do when it comes to my, because I got to get all this across. The book and nice box cover. That was so nice. They did that so well. I just don't know. Now that Disney owns, Laserdisc is like, it's better than VHS. And I guess not quite as good as DVD quality is what you'd say. I think Dave Katana would he has a lot more than me, but would kind of contest that. It's, you know, it was that stopgap between VHS and Laserdisc. Sorry, VHS and DVD. When VHS was the only thing, people that were really serious about like really studying film bought Laserdisc. THX sound, yeah, it had great sound. That was the thing. One of the things that I liked about it, and I remember that that it was Roger Ebert actually on his show. He had like one of them, and you can get the ones where there's a kind of a wheel on it, right, on the remote control, and you can actually stop like the films. CV film. You could actually like go frame by frame with Laserdisc. You can go frame by frame. You can also, by the way, hook Laserdiscs up to a computer, and you can take like stills and screenshots from that way. And that's the way that a lot of like professional movie reviewers used to do stuff. They would use Laserdisc. Roger Ebert, I go back to him because he's one that I remember talking about it. They were the first thing to have commentaries, Javid. Before Laserdisc, there was no such thing as a commentary track. Obviously, you couldn't do that on VHS tape. But they were the first one to do extras, first one to put on commentary, first one to put on like kind of like bonuses. Later on, you see things like this wax is great. Is like you find things like Star Maker, like they were like kind of cheaper companies and stuff like that. And later, Anchor Bay would put like features on the end of VHS tapes, or Full Moon was the best at it. They did what was called a video zone. And anytime you got a Full Moon movie, you rented it, or you bought it, like you really felt like you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck, because they would have like you get the movie, you get like a video zone, which should have like behind the scenes make featurettes and sometimes music videos and trailers and like talking about Full Moon toys and comics and that type of stuff. That was amazing. And Nick Town is right. When it came to Laserdisc, Criterion really was innovative. And they really pushed it with Laserdisc. I'll put it to you this way. Synapse Films, Don May Jr., who does Synapse Films, was a Laserdisc guy. And he actually did, before any of this came out, before Synapse came around, he actually did a Ned the Living Dead 2-disc Laserdisc edition. And because he thought at the time, like most of us did, that, you know, this is the future of collecting. This is going to be the way collecting is going to go. Yeah, Full Moon really marketed well. Full Moon were the best at marketing. Like they could have like a movie that was so, and they would get a cult following just based on like on their viewer interaction, whether it be like from the movie, from the video zone. When I was opening up a comic book store, that was something that I was going to do during the 90s. It was during the comic book boom time. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to have pretty much some exclusive rights to Full Moon products in my area. So I called Full Moon, and I actually got one of the actresses from one of the films. Hey, Wolf. They were really easy to work with, and unfortunately the store didn't go through. I lost my funding for it at the last minute. Another business got the grant that I was like that my business like linchpinned on, and but I would have had a lot of Full Moon stuff. Is there room for improvement? I don't think it's see, the videos are better than movies. I don't think it's so much anymore as a room for improvement. I mean, like, there's always room for improvement. Like 8K, I don't think 8K Day Katana is going to be a physical format. And I think the recent thing with Samsung is the best way to say that. 8K, people talk about 8K. And people said, I'm not going to get the 4K because 8K is coming. I don't think so. What I think is going to happen is 8K is for streaming. 8K is going to give you the equivalent, hopefully, of a decent 4K. Hey, Rich, on streaming. Because here's the thing: when VHS and Betamax did their war, VHS won. Beta looked better. They didn't care. People didn't. The consumer didn't care about the quality of the way it looked. Do you want it cheaper, easily accessible? Be like the put. You know, can I use one VHS rather than two Betamax to tape off this game that I want to tape off? 8K, well, the newer TVs, that won't be though. That's the thing. 8K is going to be streaming. 8K is not going to be physical format. And now with streaming, basically, a lot of people don't realize, even with the stream in ultra high definition, it's not really the same as a physical 4K disc. The quality isn't there. If you put the two of them up against each other, there is a discernible difference. Well, that's the thing, that we never... There are certain movies that I didn't think would look good. Oh, thank you, Rich. I really appreciate that. Kino, actually, I have a huge Kino. You saw my Kino thing recently. My better half's a huge Kino fan, too. We're looking at... She just bought the McGrew ones, and we're looking at the Pink Panthers. But when it comes to the formats, 4K, I think right now is as far as it's going to go. Yeah, the Maniac and Zombie Transfers, I honestly can't see them getting any better than the way they are right now. If anything can be tweaked in certain ones, and not in all, but in certain ones, and in certain 4K releases, certain Blu-ray releases, it's really more of, for me, like what I would think, it's more of an audio thing than it is a video thing at this point. I think a lot of the 4Ks that I got, and even some of the Blu-rays that got like 4K and 2K transfers, they really do a great like kind of representation of what the movie would look like if you saw it in the theater, for instance. There are people that will tell you that there's no difference between 4K and Blu-ray, but those people don't look too far into it. The silliest argument I've ever heard is, no, movies are filmed in 4K. Why should movies be done in 4K? I hope that's something that I never have to explain to people. But then again, you know, yeah, there are films filmed in 8K. We're not just talking digital intermediate and stuff like that. Yeah, you can. I love HDR. That's the biggest thing for me. And I love the colors in HDR. It's just, when we got Planet Earth 2, it blew my mind. I watched it, it was really good on my 4K DV. I watched the first episode on Netflix. IMAX was, I think so. Oh, you know what? I'll go with that. Somebody can look that up for me. I don't rightfully know, to be totally honest with you. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know it. The blacks are really good in 4K. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people went from like the plasma TVs were like really heavy, and you know, as compared to like an LCD TV, that type of thing. But the blacks on plasma were so good. It was just super heavy. But I think you want to see like good like shadow detail, like Jav was mentioning there, and like kind of some good black, like things like John Wick. If you got a 4K player, Planet Earth 2, Halloween. Some people said, "Oh, well, that looks a little dark," but no, it looks really good. And most of the BBC sets, those are so good. You can rewatch them too, Rich. Like, you can watch them over and over again. I need to get like the blue Planet 2 one. That's the one I need. Apologize, I'm really thirsty tonight, actually. Almost. Blue Planet was sad. The second one, anyway. The one with the whale and the kids. Yeah. 55 LED is a great great TV. Sony's great TV anyway. Sony's is one of the I would definitely go like one of the top of the line TVs. And but yeah, we got a 55 inch, I think 4K. It is true. Is it a Samsung? No, it's not Samsung. It's a LG maybe. I'm not sure. We're looking to get like a 65 inch. 65 is like the sweet spot for 4K if you can get it. But usually 65 inches is like the sweet spot. Like some people go with the 75 or an 80, that type of thing. I'm not going to put that much wall space. I got to put movies around it that I'm going to be putting up at the condo. So yeah, 65 inch I think is going to be the sweet spot for us when it comes to a 4K. You know, it all depends on your room size. But yeah, when you're looking for a TV, there's some rooms like say you're like in a dorm or something like that, and like 40 inch looks awesome for you. But yeah, if you're in a house, you got a nice size, I'd say 65. Yeah, max. I'd max out at a 65 myself. Do I think that 4K releases of older movies are slow? You mean like slow coming out? I think there's a lot that are slow coming out, and that's because some people really. I used to have a curved TV, Rich, and I loved it. Some people said the curved TV was kind of gimmicky. I personally preferred the 4K curved TV over the flat 4K that I've got right now. But that's all a matter of personal preference, I think, when it comes to that. I did. When I lived in St. John's, before I moved here, I've been here now for about 2 years. The last 4K TV that I had there was a 4K curved TV, and unfortunately something happened to it, and I had to buy a new one. So I bought like a 3D one. But I think the curve really, they've said things, but I'm not sure it's supposed to make it more cinematic or supposed to give more. Maybe Rich can explain about it. He actually mentioned the curved TV. I love the picture on the curve. The picture on my 4K upstairs is fantastic as well. But I do think the curved TV had a better picture. It might just be the brand that I had, or just the configuration of the television. I do recommend if you get your 4K in a store and it's not going to cost you too much more to get it done. It does add a bit of a 3D effect. 65, yeah, 65 is. I think 65 is kind of that premium one, that size that everybody wants to go to. A more immersive picture. Thanks, Javid. So that would be like more like an immersive picture, more of like a 3D, more of an effect, kind of bring you into the picture, or like a new 3D, not like the old school 3D like I used to have, like that type of thing. But what I like to call a pop-up book 3D. Where more depth and stuff like that. I personally, for 3D, yes, going on a side rant, like the old school 3D where it's stuff coming out of your face a lot better. Wasn't for you? I think mine was a Samsung as well, Javid. I really liked it. The one thing that was a bit of a problem is where we had it like focused. If the light got in a certain way, you could get some glare. Always, know where you're going to put your TV at, like whether you're going to put it or you're going to mount it. Just, be aware of the glare. There we go. Always stuff that you have to look into when it comes to that. But yeah, I'd say if you're going 4K, if you got the room, 65 inches, it's the sweet spot. And HDR, recommend to get both. If you can get one of the TVs that plays, because there's two types of 4K. There's the HDR and there's the Dolby Digital. I like them both, yeah. So some people swear by Dolby Vision, right? And other people are like, they're hardcore HDR fans. I like them both. My TV has HDR, and I prefer OLED. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like 4K though. I mean, like if you're 4K, not like a regular. Uh, Dolby Vision is supposed to be better. I don't know. For some films, Dolby Vision is better. For some films, it's not. But you can see the difference. There's a guy. Oh God, he hasn't been on in a while. What was his name? He does a lot of like 4K reviews. HDR10 Plus. My problem with HDR10 Plus is, will it be compatible with players and TVs that are already out? Because I don't know. I haven't looked up any information on it. So that's something to look into. When you're looking at like a TV like that, HDR10 Plus, is it going to be compatible with what I got now, or am I going to have to get another player? Like right now, I'm using an Xbox One to watch my my 4K films on, and I have no issues with any of them. No, none of them have. Like some people said, oh, well, this movie doesn't work on Xbox One 4K. No, that's not true. I've yet to see a movie that hasn't worked on my Xbox One. That's a 4K release. But HDR10 Plus, my only concern is like, is it going to work? Is it backwards compatible? Will it work with TVs? Brass Tacks, that's who it is. Thank you. I'm actually a huge fan of Brass Tacks. You watch his stuff? So he does like he has the monkey, and my kid, or one of my kids, I think had that monkey. Xbox One X, Xbox One X. What's surprising is Sony, with their PS4 and how popular it is, have never revised it to play 4K discs. The only like they're just stuck on doing like 4K streaming. That really bothers me. I hope he does. I really hope that he comes back, Raph. I really hope he does, because Brass Tacks is one that me and my better half, we sit down and we watch together. He's one of the people that did get us into 4Ks, and I kind of think my better half, she had a tiny bit of a crush on. Hey Steve, welcome. She had a tiny bit of a crush on Brass Tacks too, so that was probably a thing there. He does music in that as well, so he may be into his music. Really, Spare Change? We don't watch a lot of Spare Change. We did watch a few other stuff, but he's got a really kind of like soothing voice, the guy that does it. There's another guy too. There's like three of them. Like there's the Spare Change, and there's Brass Tacks, and there's one other guy that we watched a lot of, and I feel so bad that I can't remember his name because he's so good. I think Blu-rays will start to look worse as newer TVs are released. I don't think. I think what you're going to get is upscaling is always going to be something that stops that. That was something that we thought in the DVD age, and then upscaling came around, and we saw things were being upscaled well. Like a lot of my Blu-rays and my DVDs look fantastic on my 4K TV. I've never had a complaint. No, I'm not a video. I'm not one of those guys that like, oh, does this look perfect? Is this? I come from the days of the CED and the VHS. CED is pre-VHS. It was like a format before VHS. I can talk about that after you want me to. So DVDs and Blu-rays and 4K, they look amazing to me. And maybe I'm a little bit like, I'll be like more slack than some people but some people really drive me up the wall. There's a popular forum site that I go to, and there's some people there that are great, and some people there that I'm just like, will you ever be satisfied? That's the thing. I mean, look at the most recent, like the upgrade for 2001. That looked phenomenal. Blade Runner. Amazing. Blade Runner 2049. 2049, is that what it is? I can't remember. A Blu-ray. You knew what it was. Dicktown doesn't know that. But no, Blu-ray.com, I think, and I'll be honest, I think they're a great site for, like, I use, like, for some of my stuff. Well, it's totally not a gimmick, but I know you're joking. They're looking better than TV that isn't 4K. You want to have TV that's 4K for the upscaling, 4K upscaling. But you know, it's the same as like when you had like a DVD and you put down one of those Blu-rays and it cut upscale the DVD to closer to Blu-ray quality, except way better than that. I'm a convert. I've got a small collection of 4K, but I definitely stand by them. I love 4K. Some people don't like 3D. I actually do like 3D. It didn't work. It didn't work as well. It didn't last as long. I need to get like a yeah, I know you do. Actually, that's why I knew your joke. I know your Instagram, man. But I personally, no, I that's why we got a 3D TV in our bedroom, 55-inch 3D in the bedroom, and that's not 4K though. And we got like a 4K 55-inch downstairs right now. And of course, we got the 32-inch CRTs to play like retro gaming and stuff on, and like to watch like some DVDs sometimes on like one of our PS2s or something like that. And of course, you know, we got like the CRT for our Laserdisc as well. Now, you want all the 80s movies in 4K. Even the bad ones, even the ones you don't want to buy. All the good 80s ones. Friday the 13th, 4K, the complete collection. Won't come anytime soon, as long as that stupid lawsuit is going on. That's, you know, that's my thought. Really, really not happy with the writer of Friday the 13th. I'm so not. I'm not on his side with this whole thing. I know a lot of people are. I'm not. Never know, really awesome. Not all movies look good in 4K. I don't think that's a problem with 4K though. I was over today. Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I got to look that up. I think that's a problem of like lazy production. Who won the lawsuit, by the way? But or did they throw it out? Oh, wow! Because he won the first part of it, and they threw it out afterwards. Or I'm kind of confused. So, because the game one, you had me so confused. We're talking about the game. Oh, wait a second. Because Friday the 13th. Now, are we talking about the same lawsuit? See, Friday the 13th lawsuit was between the director of the film, Sean Cunningham, and the writer of the film, Victor Miller. When you say the game, I'm a wrestling fan, so I said, what's Triple H have to do with this? But I think you probably mean that the game maybe won in their ability to like use the Friday 13th characters. That may not mean, however, that the lawsuit is over between Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham, which is which is what's stopping any like new Friday the 13th films from being made at a time when we're kind of having a slasher horror resurgence right now, kind of a renaissance. Oh yeah, but no. See, there's another one, Daytona. That's Victor Miller versus Sean Cunningham for the rights of the film, which could split it up between Victor Miller getting the rights for Camp Crystal Lake and Jason Voorhees, and you know, and the things that he put in there. But any like the things like the hockey mask or any of that type of stuff that went on from there, Jason has a killer. Those all would all belong to Sean Cunningham. The problem right now is that it's going to split it up a bit. It's much like the Bond lawsuit that happened years ago, where basically Ian Fleming lost the rights to one book because that book was kind of written with another person. Unfortunately, that book also kind of like created things like Spectre and like had Blofeld. So books going forward couldn't use the word Spectre, couldn't use Blofeld. They actually had to kill Blofeld off like really kind of quickly in a kind of a throwaway sequence at the beginning of a film due to that. And it was only recently, like very recently, that the lawsuit got finalized enough that the word Spectre could be used again. That's why Quantum of Solace was the Quantum of Solace rather than Spectre. Yeah, not only that, but the Samsung news, the Thunderbolt incident. Exactly, Wolf. The Samsung announced, people thought it was just going to be 4K Blu-ray players that they're not going to be making, but Samsung are not going to be making any Blu-ray players at all anymore. That was extremely bad news to hear. I don't know if it failed. It did. I mean, it did the stuff that it did, and I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's quite gone. It can still have a resurgence, because Avatar's coming out, and Avatar was made. That's definitely Samsung's loss. Warlock, you are 110% right there. I wanted to tweet something mean to Samsung so many times. Hey, Brian Goes Blue, man, how's it going? Yeah, it definitely peeved me. Yeah, we still have, like, if Avatar comes out and kind of makes 3D kind of popular with their 3D again, and like another movie or two like comes on, we could actually see a resurgence of some 3D, like come down the road. Like, I would love to get like a 4K HDR 10 plus. That's fine. My phone does that all the time. Sometimes the weirdest things. What was it? Hey, Hedgie. Do you think region-free players will? I think region-free players will always be around. I actually think, well, the good thing about 4K, guys, is 4K is region-free anyway. So if you buy a 4K disc in the UK, you can play it over here, or vice versa. Exactly, more money for other companies. Oppo made good players. Oppo was one of the people that I was like, I was sad to see like go out of the game. There's so many times that I wanted to buy an Oppo, and because for anybody that likes like region-free stuff, I got a Seiki, right? Like, they're cheaper, easily, change the code, whatever region you want, that type of thing. Just you got your remote. But Oppo was known as being the best, like the best region-free player, the best one out there, and they were the best out there. Yeah, regions won't matter actually. Once things become more region-free, or like, I always say this to the people that are kind of on the fence about going region-free, because I have some friends that still haven't gone region-free, and I'm like, do it. Once you do it, once you go region-free, once you see how easy it is, then you're not going to go back. You won't go back. It'll change the way you collect things. Like, look at that entire shelf over there. You see the one with the Russ Meyer set? I know you do. I know you guys are all looking at it. That set is all, that whole shelf, that entire shelf, that's all Arrow Video. That's almost all like Region 2 releases. My Eureka stuff that I put on here. My Seiki is one of my favorites, actually. They just... Oh yeah, I mean, like, honestly, the cost isn't really comparable now. Like, as in, like, it's that... Go, Mark, I really suggest, go for it. If you're in, like, North America, the Seiki players can run you between, like, $80 to $100 usually, right? Yeah, best worst thing you ever did. Yeah, you end up spending a lot more, but you get a lot more. Like, they are like the first Seiki player I bought, Mark, was around $60. The second one I bought, I'm in Canada, was $120. So if you're in the U.S., you're looking at spending maybe $100, maybe $80 for like a Seiki player, and they are pretty inexpensive. Even if you spend like $120, it's minimal compared to what you're going to save. We have some great companies out there that are go region free for a lot of stuff anyway, but it makes like a huge difference. 6 years is a good time though for the last. Look right now, Scream Factory are putting out When a Stranger Calls, right? Which is fantastic. I love that film. Second Sight just put out When a Stranger Calls last year, with When a Stranger Calls Back, with a gigantic poster, with the short film The Sitter from the original When a Stranger Calls remastered, with a soundtrack CD in a hard box. Those things are hard to pass up on. Look at that beautiful Russ Meyer set in the background. That is what you can get, the type of stuff you can get when you become region free. And sometimes you'll get like movies that have come over here. I don't have that one yet, Brian. I did put that on my list for stuff for my better half to get me, so I'm hoping that's one of the ones that's going to be coming for my birthday. Second Sight editions have been amazing. And have you seen the stuff they've done recently with like the, I think it was Second Sight and Eureka too, like did some Jackie Chan stuff. The Changeling too, they did an amazing job with the Changeling. I do have the Severin one, and I very much like it a lot. I don't think Best Buy would sell them. Where I'm at, there's a place called Canadian Tire. I don't know if that's where you're at, if that's available where you're at. They used to sell them as well. You should be able to find them online too, though. There's like a lot of different places that gives really good region-free players. Second Sight sells it pretty. They do sell it pretty fast, but they do have some great stuff. Eureka is another fantastic company. The new recent like Second Sight edition of Cujo looks really good. That's something that I do have to recommend, and nothing beats some of those like those Indicator and Arrow box sets that are out there. They just have some amazing stuff. Yeah, region-free 4K player is going to cost more, but a 4K player is going to cost more anyway. I missed out on that house box set, which is a shame because I'm a huge fan of the films. And I don't remember the fourth one. I know I've seen it a long time ago, but I don't remember it. I can't remember a damn thing about it. I know the William Katt's in it, but that's all I remember. Extra I missed out on. Second Sight's got the regular release of that now. It's still kind of expensive, but the special edition release was so sweet. It was so awesome. And sometimes you're going to get a movie just that's going to come out. It's going to come cheaper, and you're going to get it faster. People are waiting for Fright Night to come out with the documentary, and like the features. And Eureka's had this for about a year now. There's no waiting mark when you get the when you get this. The world is at your fingertips, especially collecting those. Bad. I still want it though. I'm a completist. I wouldn't know how to chip something. I wouldn't. I'm not that technologically savvy. You want Vince in? Vince, oh, great stuff. And companies I can recommend: Vinegar Syndrome, Kino Lober, and the Redemption line, awesome stuff. Arrow, Scream Factory, Severin, Synapse. A lot of the Vincents are region free, actually, but for Kinos, a lot of them, some of them aren't, and some they're really worth it. I prefer old comedies. Well, that's why you got to get like the Vinegar Syndrome have old comedies, and so does so does Kino. Kino has a lot of them, man. 88 Films does some decent stuff. Bilko, is that the Steve Martin one? New copy of Jerk 2 and Splash Juice so I can prove to people they exist. They exist. They're not very good, but they exist. Who was it that was in the Jerk 2? The Jerk 2 and Splash 2, weren't they both TV films? Oh, good. Okay. The real book. Thank you. Because Jerk had Steve Martin, but the Jerk 2 didn't, I don't think. The Jerk 2 had like someone else. Yes, Javid, I own the washing machine. I love that edition, by the way. Tell you what, for people that don't come here a lot, even if you do. He's talking about the washing machine right here. This is a Ruggiero Deodato film. Comes in this cool, like, steel case. Just in case. Recommend it. It's a really good film. It's strange, it's weird, it has a strange ending. But, yeah, I love that. It is an awesome case. Makes me think, what are some awesome releases like that I can... Indicator stuff that I can highly recommend. You don't have any Shameless? Dude, you like some Shameless. They have some great stuff. I mean, like, I've been over here, like, recently, like, they're... Here, like, they don't do, like... That's the Bronx Warrior set. But there's so many companies. Once you go region free, you can actually get, like, versions like Dracula with, like, 3 discs and extra movies and stuff on there. All that stuff is fantastic. And going region free means you can get some of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. And I do, my favorite version of Rawhead Rex isn't the Arrow edition. It's the Vincent edition. Could I what? Somebody just said something. I do apologize. I was looking away. If you put it up there again, I'll try to do my best to answer it. I gotta put this back in. I'm trying to look at the same time. Could I what? But as you can see, I do collect a lot of different companies. Is there a version of Rawhead Rex where the monster looks better? Come on, it's not that bad. It's a cheesy monster movie. What do you expect from a movie? It's called Rawhead Rex. So the washing machine. My films are well, sort of my babies. My kids are my babies, and my cats are my fur babies. My films are my media babies. But yeah, there's so much different stuff out there that we can go for and we can grab. Hey, that does happen. Yeah, I do recommend going region free. If you haven't gone region free, Mark, go for it. The deep end. Okay. Oh, can I sell you on the washing machine? The washing machine is a really cool Ruggiero Deodato. If you like Deodato, it's a different kind of giallo. It's got a really sexy scene on a staircase. If you like that, really, that one just really stood out to me. The box, the set itself, just the look of it, the aesthetic look of it is incredible. Oh, Javid, you're sold already then, because yes, it does. It's a giallo, and it's by Deodato, so you can expect to see that, and a lot of weirdness, a lot of good weirdness though. Now, I was asked a lot about giallos recently, and I'm going to be doing an updated video, like we're going to focus on giallos. I want to thank, excellent. You better watch Summer Party Massacre. Nice. The first one, second one, or third one? Or the sequels, the sort of sequels. Where do you start with Vincent? Well, that's kind of my name on. Vinegar Syndrome is a company that I've been following since the beginning. The first one. It depends on the type of stuff you like. Now, when it comes to Vinegar Syndrome, the first one, I like the second one a lot. It's not a great movie, but I do have a certain love for it. What type of stuff do you like? Like for Vinegar Syndrome, obviously, I doubt you're going in to get the adult stuff. So, if you're a fan of 80s films, 80s comedies, for instance, My Chauffeur is an awesome Vinegar Syndrome release. You will fall in love with Deborah Foreman. She's really that good. If you want kind of a more serious, more haunting one, I do recommend Incubus. And again, not all of them. Like there's ones like here, like Malibu High, for instance, like Hobgoblins, you know, The Bees, Night Train to Terror, which I actually really like, Horror House on Highway 5. But we don't know what's coming up for the slips, because they said some of their older titles that didn't have slips are going to be getting slips, because they're going to be doing that on their halfway to Black Friday sale. So they have some slips coming up that nobody knows what they're going to be, and they're going to be on sale on the halfway to Black Friday sale. So if you get some of them now, you may be able to buy some slips later on to put onto your Vinegar Syndrome stuff. My cat just went down. Raw Force is a great one. That's a cool release. It's got everything in it. You get your nudity, you get your kung fu, you get your zombies, you get your Cameron Mitchell. Nightfire. Has Nightfire been released? It hasn't, I don't think. Well, not recently. And Vinegar Syndrome also does packages every month, so you can always look to see if the package interests you as well. So let us look here and see what their latest package is. They keep sound tells. They do, don't they? And the slips are extra thick. That's the thing. They gotta kind of like, it's hard to explain until you see it. But once you see it, Scalps is all right. Yeah. So, like for instance, this month coming out, the March month of Vinegar Syndrome is going to have Dominique, In the Cold of the Night, The Suckling, which is one that people have been wanting, and Andy Milligan's Flesh Pot. Oh, Christmas Evil, I would buy that slip. I have Don't Go in the Woods through 88 Films, but I would buy the slip just to pretend it's the same one. Black House Films, I don't know if I got any of their stuff actually. But I've seen their stuff online. And I gotta check the February package as well, because you just mentioned it. Actually, February package has some interesting stuff, which I do recommend. There's Wacko, which is a Graydon Clark film. If you got The Uninvited, the one with the mutant cat creature hybrid type of thing that recently came out, then that was Graydon Clark. That's director Graydon Clark. He also directed this slasher comedy called Wacko. Party Line is one that I personally like. It's not for everybody. It's kind of a combination of like of a slasher film and kind of like the burgeoning like the Cinemax, like erotic thriller type films. It's kind of a combination of those two. Battle for the Last Planet and I think Mutant War is a double feature, and that's another one they got coming out. And I think the adult one for this month is for the February month is Tinseltown. Now, thanks to a good friend of mine, Brian from Just the Discs, I have 2 from the February package coming to me actually right now. And between the January and February package, we should hopefully have a great upcoming podcast to talk about for on Vinegar Syndrome and a couple of these releases. Just getting around, getting the time to do it. You know, Brian's really busy. He's, you know, with Pure Cinema and all the stuff that comes out from Just the Discs. But Christmas Evil is really good. Sometimes you see like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and you know which I thought was really good, or Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, which you know is so bad it's good type of thing. But I actually legitimately think Christmas Evil is a good film, and is about the most pure. Actually, right, pure Christmas horror movie that's out there. Black Christmas is my favorite horror. It's my favorite movie of all time. But Christmas Evil truly is a Christmas. It's a horror movie, no doubt about it. Horror movie, tried and true, through and through. It's a horror movie. But Christmas Evil is also the most Christmassy horror movie you're ever going to see, and you got to watch right till the end of that film to get the full effect of the WTF moment that happens at the ending of Christmas Evil. That's all I can say. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Christmas Evil is a great Christmas horror film, and I do recommend it. And I will be honest, right now, the January package of Vinegar Syndrome that they put out, that had the Uninvited, There's Nothing Out There, and like Splatter University on it. If you don't have those, why not? Especially There's Nothing Out There. There's Nothing Out There was really well done. It was meta horror years before Scream. The Uninvited is a really fun Graydon Clark film, super cheesy, great cast. And of course, Splatter University is just a really fun slasher film. And Bloody New Year Warlock wasn't part of the package; it came on its own. But yeah, Bloody New Year was done by, oh my God, Norman J. Warren, right? Yeah, Norman J. Warren. Norman J. Warren, who did Prey, which is, again, one of my favorite ones that came out from Vinegar Syndrome, and of course, The Tear. Graduation Day is a great. If you don't have Graduation Day, I do recommend that. The first time I saw Graduation Day, I didn't like it. When did they start off? Oh my God, a few years back. It's not as long ago as you would think, actually. But they have put out a lot of good stuff. I'd have to say, look at Vinegar Syndrome. If you have never looked into, I just don't have the children. I own Final Exam B Movie Archives. That's another one where I didn't like it the first time I saw it, but afterwards I loved it. It's one that really grew on me. Now, Final Exam is a movie that could never be done the same way today as it was done back then. It's a different political climate, and I really don't think that having some kids fake a terrorist attack to get out of an exam is going to fly in the in modern day filmmaking. I couldn't believe when I'm like when that was happening. But no, I do enjoy it. Me too, Brian, actually. I am the same as you. I love the uniformity look. That's going to be remade. Anything can be remade. It's just don't know if they always should or not. Now, there's some films that I think really need to be remade. Terrifier, it's okay. Some people love it. It's a fun. I mean, I think Terrifier is going to work a lot better for your last great slasher franchise was Scream. Urban Legend. I'm biased, sort of, because that's a favorite of mine. But I think Urban Legend and Jamie Blanks. I love Wes Craven. But Terrifier 2 has to be better. Not because Terrifier 1 was that bad, but because I think they're going to pick up on the mistakes that they made in the first one and do a better job with the second one. Because the characterization, some of the writing and acting in Terrifier, let's be honest, wasn't exactly the greatest. The guy that played the clown did a great job, and he was very committed to the role. Yeah, as far as the later slasher films go, Jamie Blanks was a guy you could depend on. He was one of those guys that just found the original Urban Legend. Actually, I was about to mention that, actually. That knew. Jamie Blanks, you could tell, grew up watching 80s horror and slashers, and he loved them. But, all right. Okay, guys. I have to go. I hear some calling out because my better half is feeling under the weather tonight. If I can, I'm going to try to make a video tomorrow night, a longer one. We're going to talk about some stuff. But I will be back tomorrow night. We're going to finish this conversation. We're going to talk more about some horror. And tell you what, I'll do some kind of no, she's actually not feeling well. She's actually got the sniffles big time. So I'm going to go and get that done. Get some tea. I wish, but maybe later. Not tonight, though. Not tonight. I'm going to get some tea, and maybe tomorrow what I'll do is I'll look at all the companies, and I'll get some good suggestions for you guys, and we'll talk about some 90s horror, and I'll mention Jamie Blanks, because Valentine and Urban Legend don't get talked about enough. I will see you guys soon. Have a great evening, and for me right now, it is time for tea. I am Aaron. I'm Mr. Vincent, Mr. Kino, Mr. Severin. You guys are the movie club.